the Aurora founding team is made up of 3 different members. I'm Jasmine Sneed, I'm the CFO, and I'm a lifetime ice skater. Imani Rickerby, she is our COO, and she's a lifetime competitive synchronized ice skater. And Sydney Parker is our CMO, and she's a lifetime competitive dancer.
Hey, my name is Imani Rickerby. I am one of the co-founders and COO of Aurora Tights. I was born and raised in Jersey City, New Jersey. I've been an ice skater for 20 years. The type of ice skating that I specialize in is called synchronized ice skating. I was a competitive skater for 13 years. One of the highlights of my career was skating for Team USA in 2012. So now I'm a coach. I've been coaching for about 7 years, and when I'm not on the ice or working with Aurora Tights, I'm in school. I currently attend the University of Michigan for graduate school. I'm getting my master's in health services administration.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Sneed. I am a co-founder and the CFO of Aurora Tights. I am a lifetime ice skater and also a full-time student at the University of Maryland, College Park, getting my MBA as well as a master's in public policy. My experience as an ice skater started at the age of 5 at my local ice rink. My mom took me one time and I was just hooked. And it became a huge part of my life afterwards. My main discipline was as a freestyle skater, but I did synchro, ice dance, production, you named it, I tried it. Also, I was a figure skating coach since I was 16 years old, so ice skating was a huge part of my life, and that's why it's so important for me to give back to the sport through Aurora Tights.
Hi, my name is Sydney Parker, and I am a co-founder of Aurora Tights and the Chief Marketing Officer. I had very similar experiences to my co-founders, but in the world of dance and with the added pressure of being a dark-skinned woman in a predominantly white sport. Whether it was the hair or the makeup or especially the tights, nothing ever fit. And it wasn't until I got to college on a team with predominantly black women that I not only had started to have confidence in my skills, but also in my appearance. Being on that team taught me what it meant to have a support channel to turn to in times of need. And together with my co-founders, we all decided to build that same community of empowerment through Aurora Tights.
Our lives are intertwined in a lot of different ways. We were all students at the University of Maryland, go Terps. We were also friends and line sisters or sorority sisters for Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And Imani and I were co-coaches of a synchronized ice skating team. And so all these different experiences is what made us the perfect trio to get Aurora Tights started.
So how and when Aurora Tights came to be? In fall 2017, Jasmine and I were co-coaching a synchronized ice skating team in Maryland. We were super excited because the team was extremely diverse, but our skaters were still wearing tights that did not fit their skin tone. This is something that Jasmine and I experienced growing up. Jasmine, however, was able to dye her tights to fit them. It was a messy process. Me, on the other hand, I didn't have the option at all. Through conversations, we were like, no, we're coaches now. We can make this change. So we came up with the idea with creating ice skating tights for all different types of skin tones to really embrace all different types of skaters. Through our conversations, and of course we had to share the idea with Sydney, we talked about it, and Sydney had the same type of experience. She grew up being a competitive dancer, and she could not wear tights, dance tights that fit her skin tone as well. So we were like, okay, there's clearly a market. And there you go. In January 2018, that's when Aurora Tights was founded. And we decided that we were going to be the change to create ice skating and dance tights for all skin tones to make sure all types of performers perform in color.
The process of making a dancewear line was a little extensive. We first started in our kitchen and we started to make recipes to dye tights with Rit dye one by one. And as you can imagine, this process was super time consuming and it wasn't always consistent. So we knew that we had to go and find a manufacturer, and we were lucky enough to find one right here in the United States. Once we found that manufacturer, we started to surf through so many, like hundreds of samples, to find colors that matched real human skin. Because one thing you'll find out there on the market of diverse tight shades is that there's diversity, but your skin can't really fit a lot of them. So that was super important to us. We came up with 5 shades, 7 sizes, and 2 styles. The 2 styles are transition and footed, and these fit the shoes that dancers and skaters usually wear. This fall, we're going to be expanding our styles even more by adding stirrup tights and over the boot tights to our line, as other dancers and skaters also wear these tights. Overall, we wanted to make sure that our tights line was inclusive, but also it's something that people could actually use.
The driving force behind Aurora Tights is because none of us ever had or easily could achieve tights and gear within our skin tone. Imani and Sydney didn't have any options that really fit their skin color. And for me, I would dye my tights myself in the bathtub. And as you might guess, that was messy, time consuming, and expensive, and honestly experimental. Because it was such a hassle, we just all realized that all performers, no matter their shade from the fairest to the deepest tones, should be able to buy tights online or go to the local store. It should just be as easy as that, and that's why we've created Aurora Tights.
Shade and size inclusive tights are extremely important and should be embraced by both the dance and ice skating communities. Because tights that come in multiple shades and all different types of sizes sends a message to performers from all backgrounds. No matter what they look like, they do belong in this sport.
For an athlete of color, having the appropriate clothing that matches your skin directly ties to your confidence as a performer. Confidence is everything as an athlete, because we all know what it means to have that little extra oomph when you're out there on that stage. We want to be that little extra oomph for those performers so that they can perform to the best of their ability.
I certainly empathize with young performers who might be discouraged by not seeing people who look like them reflected in the sports that we love. But I also want to point out that there's been so many people before us, from Pearl Primus, Mabel Fairbanks, Josephine Baker, Roy Flack, Debbie Thomas, and just so many others who really put their names on these sports. Even though they did not get the attention and accolades and exposure that they deserve, they were amazing performers in their craft. I also want to point out that you're not alone. There's a whole community of performers of color who are here to support each other and really are pushing to diversify these sports that we love. From ice skating, dance, and other niche performance sports, people perform in color.
Both the ice skating and dance communities need to take action to make sure that performers of all backgrounds feel included. Actions include making sure that judges panels, technical panels reflect the type of dancers that are performing. It is important that diversity is embraced in all parts of the sport, not only at the performance level. Another action item is that organizations need to start having that conversation. How do you become more diverse? Not only in your performers, but also in your managing and coach staff. Also, make sure you're taking steps to make your performers of color feel included. Let them and embrace them to feel empowered to wear apparel that matches their skin tone. Make sure your hairstyles complement all different textures, and makeup selections should be complementary to all skin tones. At the end of the day, it is our job to make sure performers of all backgrounds feel belonged.
Aurora Tights has such a long journey ahead of her, and we have so many dreams as a founding team. The first one is to be able to have a product line that serves athletes in the gymnastics and cheer sports. We also want to work in all performance sports to make sure that they are accessible for all people, that we are retaining diverse talent, and that we are working with the governing bodies to educate them on how to make inclusive environments for all athletes. Last but not least, and really the most important thing, is that we want to build a community of performers of all shades and sizes so that they know that Aurora Tights is a home that they can always turn to for support.